wonderful Team Aster versus Vici. And I have some lovely folks with me as well as we go into the Vodafone pregame. It is Lacoste as well as Base Kip. And guys, last game, it felt like there were moments where Aster were sort of fumbling a little bit, but then they kind of closed it out in the end and just everything looked easy.
Yeah, they seemed really confident in their ability to take that game late, and that totally panned out. We were worried a little bit. We're like, oh, the DK and the Terrorblade are getting a lot of farm. They're going to be doing a lot of damage. And then they just got kited around in circles every single team fight. BKB is completely wasted, and then Aster kind of always finding those opportunities. So
the itemization is on point in the previous game. Like, this is how you win a game. 2 Eon discs, so they survive. Ethereal Blade on more fling. Also, Aghanims on Weaver. I think that stuff's going to get a little bit nerfed in the next patch. 15 seconds cooldown. Yeah. Seems a bit broken.
Yeah,
Weaver just becomes a totally different hero once you get it. Even if it's a core Weaver, I'm not talking about offlane. Most of the offlanes actually get it. But even if you're playing position 1 Weaver as your 5th, 6th item, you should always get it.
Yeah, and he went for it like second that game or something, right?
Yeah.
Like Dragonlance straight into Ags. He had the Diffusal Blade queued up for a second, and we kind of talked a little bit about like, oh, maybe he gets a Maelstrom and secures his own late game a little bit more and then goes back for it. But that Ags was the perfect item. Sylar and D-Stones did more than enough damage. Like Sylar, once he could just commit like a madman into the fights, he was more than able to just bring everybody down.
And, you know, I believe Lacoste, as we were leaving, you sort of like threw your headset off and said, they're so freaking good.
Yeah.
Do you guys both agree that Aster look like the team to beat right now? I mean, we obviously haven't seen a ton of the other matches that are going on, but to me at least, they look like they're unstoppable almost.
It's been quite some time since I've been hyped for a new... It's kind of a new roster like this, especially coming out from China. DK Burning took all these players who are... Some of them are veterans, some of them are new players like D-Stones, but man, this guy knows how to play.
Yeah, and I think the most exciting thing about this team is that they still seem to have a lot of potential. I think there's still room to grow.
Yeah.
100%. Like,
that's the scary part.
Yeah, that's definitely the scary part. Depends on whether you're an Aster fan or you're somebody who has to play against them. But in my case, I'm super excited to see it.
Totally. It's exciting times. And, you know, I think that it goes back again to that sort of old adage, competition breeds excellence. And China is definitely competitive, if nothing else. You know, sometimes they run into issues with being behind in the meta, but this time at least it feels like China is a little bit ahead of where everybody else is at, even though everything is sort of in the exact same place.
I think they're mad after TI as well, right? Like, it was supposed to be China's TI, right? All the stars aligning and everything. That was the TI curse, and well, however you want to think about it, and didn't happen. And I feel like that may have lit a fire under them a little bit at the beginning of this season. We'll see if they can keep that going all the way until next TI, but so far so good.
Yeah. Exciting stuff. I'm very excited to watch the rest of it. We do have 10 out of 10 players in the lobby. And there's some wonderful all-chat stuff going on in there as well. You know, it was that funny moment that happened in the game where it was like the Sylar morph lane, he ends up popping the Lincoln Sphere on the Terrorblade. It's like A+ moment.
We've been talking about it like the whole tournament as well. And then for it to finally happen and Sylar just to instantly pause the game was
like, something is broken.
Fantastic. So good.
All right, well, we're into the draft now. No more need to check if we're ready. It is happening. And, well, first ban coming out. What are Vici going to do?
They are going to... Well, they're not going to ban Wisp this game. Their first pick. So Aster probably the ones to ban the Wisp. That's going to give Vici a little bit of an advantage, perhaps. I don't want them to pick the Magnus again. I think that it just kind of... It's weird because it was like strong and synergistic, but it also made their lineup a little bit one-dimensional. Maybe if that had something other than the Dragon Knight for mid, it would have looked all right. But if you're going to pick Ogre and DK, you want to pick right-clicking cores, right? It's just totally natural.
Whoa, quick picks.
Yeah. I mean, the Wisp is a totally obvious ban. And Vici getting rid of the Weaver, not a huge surprise after just how value it was in the previous game. So the question now is like, well, what else did we have banned in the previous game?
10 seconds remaining.
It was, if we can have a quick
Phoenix.
look. Yeah, Phoenix, Necrophos, and Silencer. I don't know if Silencer's going to get banned here. Axe could be some. Actually, are either of these teams really prioritizing Axe? It got banned in the second phase.
I think with Weaver being banned out already, that it decreases the value of the Silencer ban. Like, they don't want to necessarily run it anymore. They're not going to be able to run it anymore. So,
I feel like Axe is quite good against like Sylar's style of carry and the way that Aster are playing at the moment, because they're really just piling all this farm onto Sylar and saying like, you go win the game, pretty much. And I feel like Axe is going to be super annoying.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Especially the Blade Mail could just easily destroy. He's always that super ultra carry. Phoenix gone, no surprise there. Like this is just meta where Phoenix shines.
you know what it is?
Yeah,
that
Vici Gaming lost.
You know what I realized it is, though? That I just realized what I like about Aster Gaming the most is that they have so many different ways to win the game. Like, this last one, Sylar getting completely out of control, play around him. The game before that we saw them, you know, just go for Faceless Void, Invoker, let D-Stones win the game. I'm sure that they could have games as well where it's been like the Legion commander that just sort of takes over early on.
XXS Legion, XXS Pugna.
Like
two easy examples.
I feel like this is totally a team that's just incredibly dynamic.
Yeah. I think the other thing is that Fenrir enables Baboka so hard. Like, Fenrir plays an amazing sacrificial support, and that just makes all of this space so that when they like hand the lane over to Baboka on whatever hero he's playing to go and farm his Blink or whatever, they basically get another core in the game a lot of the time, just with the amount of farm that Baboka is able to grab.
That game when Baboka played Wind Ranger, the core went to jungle so Baboka can get levels and farm.
Yeah, but he makes it work, right? He puts in a lot of impact with all that farm.
How much of a stud is Burning? This guy comes in, plays professional at level at the highest point, then comes and becomes a commentator. He goes on to like you know, sing karaoke with ROTK. And then he makes a return and makes this team that's now become the best team in the world.
He's the darling of Chinese Dota for a reason.
What the hell?
Right?
This is crazy.
The man knows his Dota. That's for sure. You know, I guess maybe Burning. Maybe this is the way that he gets his TI title, right? That was always the thing. Burning's done like everything else, but hasn't
never
won a
TI.
Yeah.
As a coach,
maybe
team looks promising. Brewmaster pick into Silencer early on. If somehow Silencer manages to get a couple of kills on a Brewmaster or just be there, this really cripples Brewmaster.
I mean, Vici doubling down on this Magnus.
I guess they picked Silencer. They have a lot of confidence in playing Magnus. They just want to follow it up with the global, so there's no shenanigans, no spells used.
I mean, look, you saw the Silencer pick and you said they lost. I'm willing now, after the Magnus pick, to say they really lost, or they super lost. I'm not convinced by this draft at all.
And look at this, too. I mean, like, taking the Brew into the Silencer. I think a lot of people consider that like one of the counters to it, right?
Yeah.
In some ways, yes, but at the same time, the Brew is quite a strong laner, and Silencer is so weak in lane now.
Yeah, but during a mid game, if he just blinks and splits before the global, like your global is going to be pretty much useless because you're going to get focused, of course. If he has a vision.
The other thing is that if the Brewmaster gets the split off before the global, you can often just micro the Wind Panda into the back of the fight and just Cyclone the Silencer, and the global never comes out. So there are some, like the interaction kind of goes both ways.
Well, Morphling banned out, probably setting up for a potential Vici pick, or rather, Terrorblade pick.
Could be. Yeah, they're going to see some carry bans here. For sure, both teams still looking for it. But I mean, Vici definitely, well, not definitely, but more than likely going for a melee carry, given that they've picked the Magnus. That's the one thing they've kind of limited their draft a little bit more. I'm trying to think about what Aster can do about this mag, like if there are good sort of vision heroes.
There's still Terrorblade in the pool. Yeah, they. I mean, you have a couple of good counters against TB. Morph. There's also Monkey King. Winter Wyvern, Phantom Lancer gone. Like, this smelled like Terrorblade after the first ban in the second stage.
And how does Magnus really deal with this too? Like, who are you going to send in the lane with Magnus that has a good time? Undying, maybe?
10 seconds
I
remaining.
don't know. And then you've got Silencer and Dying as your support combo, and you just want to die?
I wouldn't be
Ugh.
surprised if Vici gets like a hyper carry and just buff, let's say, a Void. Even though I'm not a big fan of Void, just for the extra lockdown for both Terrorblade and the Brewmaster.
I don't know what else. Maybe they're going to angle for the Ember this game. Could see that coming out a little bit later. I think that seems pretty likely with the Magnus. Pretty decent against the TB. Lockdown not really there just yet from Team Aster to be able to deal with him. So hope you look at that at some point. But no, they're just going to take a page out of Aster's playbook and just jam the Zeus in there. I don't know if they now will try and run the Zeus mid or what the situation's going to be. Zeus is pretty hard to play against Mirana. She just gets up in your face and in a team fight, and there's really not a whole lot that you can do. You can itemize a little bit to help, but I do like this pick quite a bit.
So is this support Zeus then? Is this mid Zeus?
Who knows? Could be anything. Could end up being like a support Magnus. I don't know if a Magnus Zeus dual lane is very good, but that might be what they're forced into doing here.
I don't know. I really feel like Team Aster just got 4 amazing heroes, and all of PG's heroes are like tier 2.
Yeah, they're all very situational.
I feel like they should get Ember, or if they want to get Storm.
Yeah, they have to take the Ember now.
Yeah.
It's also it's good against the Mirana, right? The root is actually super useful, so it's only become a slightly better pick. This is like the one redeeming pick I feel like Vici have had kind of so far. They can even cover him like going in with the global as well, which is super nice. Ember just being able to commit into the backline. So the backline isn't that squishy for Aster right now. They've got the Ogre and I guess, maybe is it support Brewmaster again? You think Baboka Brew and we're just looking for the D-Stones hero? Or maybe another XXS
They have a last
hero?
pick, so they're going to decide after they see what Vici picks.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Vici go ET. Just run mid Zeus, offlane Mag, ET, Mag together, Ember Silencer lane. It's a little bit funky, but I think that it's like people have not been using that enough.
The only issue is then that they would be total garbage at hitting buildings. Like,
I mean, what's the pick they're going to take that changes that?
yeah.
They could get a DK.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they have support Zeus. I don't know what they want to lane.
Right. That's the weird part. Is like
Ember can be played at
Can be
mid
played
and
side-
on the
side
side
lane.
lane.
Yeah.
Not a big fan of a side lane Ember.
Aster, I think, are stumped on this ban for the same reason that we are, because it's just like, what are the roles?
And there goes Faceless Void.
Okay.
No.
All right. Could they still just like D-Stones Invoker here?
Of course. Every game. Why not?
Oh, it's good against Ember.
Yeah.
10 seconds.
Actually, it's pretty decent against Zeus as well. If they had
Good
any,
against Magnus as well when they go in with an RP. If there's a good positioning by Invoker, just with the Tornado cancels the whole fight pre-BKB.
yeah.
They should probably ban it out.
It's a little bit annoying to have to play against Silencer, because then you have to like go BKB or something. Like you don't want to go Yules to deal with global.
Yules is not a good global counter.
I mean, he needs BK. If they pick the Invoker, he needs
He's gonna
BKB
need
this
BKB
game
anyway,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I mean, like, I guess my thought more is that you get those charges down low, and Vici can sort of tear him up in the late game. Maybe not. Maybe he has good enough position. It'll be fine.
Oh, that's why they were thinking.
Bloodseeker. I mean, it's another hero to use the Empower, but that's a core, and Ember's a core.
Empower, Blood Rage, Ember Spirit, defending base, or Blood Rage Zeus. Sounds good.
Yeah. All right. Their initiation, they've got some initiation. The Ember's got catch. The Magnus has some catch. They've got skewer synergy with the Rupture.
Yes, that's the
Yeah.
play. Oh, and Magnus takes the skewer range talent.
Oh, no.
Sounds amazing. So what don't Team Aster have an answer for right now?
They don't really have an answer for the Ember's mobility. They don't have the lockdown to kill him, I don't think. If he wants to play super defensively and just always have a Remnant out, they don't really have any way other than like randomly arrowing him or buying a Yule Scepter somewhere and then like Yules into arrow. I don't know how they fix that necessarily, though. I don't think they want to pick a Legion Commander or anything in this spot.
What about if you just destroy him in lane?
Yeah, you can do that. There are certainly plenty of heroes that give Ember a really rough time in lane. But at least they've picked the Bloodseeker themselves, because that's a hero that does totally destroy Ember. Yeah, just D-Stone's Invoker. It's not bad.
It's pretty annoying just getting that purge off all the time. And well, we'll see how well he does. It is, again, going to be Vici Gaming versus Team Aster. The China Civil War is going to continue here in the upper bracket as we get ready to hop into this game number 2. And, well, before we hop into that one, we got to figure out who it is that's going to be the MVP of this match and, of course, of the whole tournament. What do you think? We're back. And the game is going to be back as well as we hop into this one. Yeah, D-Stone's Invoker. It's pretty good. I think we've seen a lot of it. I'm curious to see if he goes the Quaswex build this time. Isn't that the way that you deal with the Ember, or am I wrong in that?
The Quas Expert build also bullies him pretty hard. Okay. I mean, doesn't have a whole lot of base armor. I'm anticipating...
They're going to have Bloodseeker mid, I think.
Oh, that's true.
Good call.
Yeah.
That guy gets it.
Seeker mid. Yeah, I think the Quaswex, like the... early points exort and then back to the Quaswex. Sort of a build here. Get that urn going, run around, get some kills. Maybe it's even a game to like go super old school Quaswex Invoker and you get an Orchid or something.
Ooh,
that could be something we haven't seen for a very long time, but could be good this game.
I don't know. If you want to just shut down Ember, he's probably going to get Yules anyway,
yeah.
So... if he sees you buying First Oblivion stuff, he has enough time to react to that, especially if the game's going well for him. And that build does not work well when you're playing from behind, so he needs to stomp his lane. I still think he's going to get a couple of points in Exort. Let's see.
Yeah, start with the Exort.
The classic. He gets more damage in the laning stage. Just want to check. Yeah, it's going to be Ori mid on the Bloodseeker.
I will say that's one thing that's been severely lacking in D-Stone's game is his use of the chat wheel. Like, this guy is master tier on freaking Dota Plus. What's happening? You gotta use some more of those lines, man.
He needs to get that last level. He needs to get the... what's it, the...
Platinum? I don't know what it's called.
I thought he was the highest tier.
Isn't the highest tier the, like, shield?
Maybe.
Or, I don't know how Dota Plus works. So I'm going to level with you. My highest level...
Admit it, you bought 1 month.
I did.
And that's it.
I think I've bought 2 or 3 months total, but I always bought them as individual months. I haven't bought a recurring subscription.
Yeah, I'm looking at this. No, he's got the highest tier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the master tier. What a guy. Oh, wait, no, maybe he doesn't. Wait, I might be dumb. Yeah, I'm dumb.
Is 24 platinum? And then 25 is master or whatever?
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yeah, 24. Okay, yeah. So he hasn't unlocked like the very last thing, but he's most of the way there.
Why is he even playing Invoker?
He just needs to play some more pubs. He's got all the hats. He's got all of the like...
You need to step it up.
Invoker player approved expensive hats.
Burning probably prefers them to play scrims instead of pubs. Maybe that's why.
Maybe.
It's unbelievable. I'm trying to figure out what the last one is, too. But yeah, movement out now. We do see Bobica in the bottom lane. Looking like he's going to run into DY off to the side. And doesn't look like there's anything really to write home about. Don't anticipate we'll see any arrows. And just trading off the runes.
Wonder if DY is going to try and block the big camp here to shut down a little bit of the Mirana's farm. Because otherwise the Mirana's just going to keep throwing arrows into the big camp. He's already skilled it up. Is he running behind to arrow the range creep as it comes across, or are they actually looking for a kill?
Oh, what a guy. I think they just want to bully whoever is here to block. Seems
They're
likely.
just waiting. Silencer already knows what's up.
Yeah, he's fine.
Oh, stepped.
Ooh.
Oh, so much value.
Jeez. All right, well. In the mid lane, Ori gonna take some punishment. It's been really fun watching these two mids face off against each other.
Ooh, nice tonight. Yeah, it has been. There's some very high. Well, we've seen some like somewhat one-sided or like mismatched mid matchups in this tournament, but now that we're into the playoffs, should start being a little bit more interesting in terms of the player skill. Or he doesn't have a salve or anything. This is actually.
He's bringing it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go.
Trading hits here as well. The Magnus not really able to do this that well against Fenrir, even though he doesn't have a stout shield. Just having those stick charges there, as well as the natural 13 regen with a Tango rolling, and Bobica almost going down. Jeez. He knew he was fine though. Had the stick charges, just chilling.
Is he gonna die to neutrals? Or no, he just wants to take a creep wave. Well, he needs to do something because Bloodseeker is gonna have a lot of move speed and damage.
Oh, but up top lane also, Fade in some trouble, and DY able to get the kill onto Bobica, who's stuck around just a little bit too long.
Well, at least Silencer doesn't get intelligence for that kill.
Oh, that's interesting. So he gets kill credit,
yes,
but he doesn't. So he gets the experience and the goal, but he doesn't get the in.
Very interesting. Okay. Now, Arcane Curse getting thrown out there. That is something that you definitely have to be careful about, as Fenrir is going to die yet again. Fade able to pick up that kill, but cannot afford to lose intelligence on that Brewmaster.
No, he barely has enough mana to begin with. Reminds me of the classic "enough to do my power."
Of course.
Well, he's gonna buy Lotus Orb this game, so
okay,
it doesn't matter. He needs to buy Arcane Boots. Like, Lotus Orb is so good this game against the Bloodseeker, Zeus, remove Ember Spirit stuff, remove the Global Silence. If somehow he can manage to farm after a Blink Dagger, he should definitely get it.
Well, in the meantime, the mid lane matchup has been relatively dominant so far by Ori. 16-2 versus the 7-3 from D-Stones. Trying to hit that Sunstrike, not going to connect. So Ori perfectly fine. But the mind game's going to probably continue on for a little while here, as he's going to go for some more of the denies on about even levels, but Ori's still taking some harassment, and Cold
just
Snap
needs to
in
keep
some
him
trouble.
low.
Cold Snap is gonna fully be enough. Can they finish him off in time? No.
Oh, he killed the creep, or two maybe.
Oh man, and while it's happening, Paparazzi ends up going down. Sorry.
That was very close. Nice ice wall.
But nicer blood right there as well.
But because Invoker didn't get a kill, he loses so much out of it. He's constantly trying to harass Bloodseeker, which you should do, but Bloodseeker just regions up. He still has 2 points in Qua, so he's gonna region up a little bit as well. Ogre. Yeah.
I think it's crazy as Ori still has a salve to use if he needs to.
Yeah. Or he gave away his ward a little bit, but it's just about to expire, so it's not a big deal.
Oh, there's a region rune on bottom.
See who ends up getting that one as they try and
Ogre
punch down
knows
this
that
guy. But a little bit of a problem. Is Bobica gonna be chased Sunstrike? See if he can get the kill on a DY. Oh god, D-Stones, what a player, saving the int from Bobica.
And Invoker picks up that region
Ooh,
rune.
nice.
Nice.
All right.
So it means that Zeus TP'd away. That's gonna be a free lane for Terrorblade for now. Magnus missing Skewer.
About to hit that 5-minute mark also. Should be able to pick up some of these bounty runes. Stone's still sitting with no boots as they're waiting for him in base and can't quite get outside of that blood right. Even able to pick up a little bit of experience there in gold. Ori hitting on those Forge Spirits as the punches come through onto Fade. In some trouble now, needing to jump out. XXS looks like he might end up going down the Arcane Curse. Gonna hurt him.
Level 2 Arcane Curse. If he uses it one more time, he is gonna get the Shrine.
Oh, can he get there in time? Trying to leap, he gets there, but there's gonna be the kill nonetheless.
No intelligence stolen.
Another one missed for DY. I'm sure very frustrating. But yeah, this is going to continue to be a problem here in the mid lane as the Bloodseeker is doubling up the Invoker in CS.
What do you think the build is for the Bloodseeker this game? Like, stats are definitely good because he's got the Empower. The Radiance is also not terrible.
I like Blade Mail. Just run around and fight people. Fenrir is dead. There's some plus in for the Silencer, but Bobica is actually XXS that was able to find the kill.
He has a clap. Mirana, another leap.
Is Bobica dead? Jason looking for it. Bobica ends up turning down, and another little bit of int for DY. Maybe gonna be some more as they make their way through the jungle, find themselves XXS. Oh, and DY ends up dying nonetheless. And Fade also
Zeus mana in 5.
Well, Paparazzi secures that one. And mid lane, Ori trying to get out of there. The clap comes through and gonna drop down the blood right. Sunstrike gonna connect. Is it enough? Not quite. Ori moving out of there with a quickness.
They're gonna pop a Shrine and he's gonna come back to the lane. Terrorblade is level 6. Point in Sunder, also valuable. DP from Zeus, 3-man Shrine. With a smoke.
And there's the Metamorphosis coming out from Sylar as well to start pressuring this tower. Although he doesn't... Oh, he does have an Aquila, I think. That's on the Magnus. So, 7 minutes in. And trying to find another one of these kills onto Ori, but 3 heroes moving into position and bouncing back and forth, wanting to get that kill. It's not quite going to happen, though, and more into the coffers of DY.
Yeah, you don't want to lose intelligence when you're playing intelligence hero. You lose magic resistance, you lose damage, mana pull.
Yeah, it really hurts. And just interesting that Vici are getting so many kills with supports that just don't really have any lockdown or anything. They just have a lot of damage and it seems to be working just fine. I like that Sylar's applying a ton of pressure up top, bullying the Magnus, trying to force people up to his lane somewhat. Because if they come and rotate on him, he's just going to retreat into the jungle. Well, we'll see. Maybe I've jinxed him.
And they're bringing the house. This is Zeus in the area too, and Yang. Not quite level 6 as of yet, but they do move themselves closer into position. Sunder available if he needs to use it, but he's silenced and holding on the sick charges. He's fine.
Yeah, that's good. They know that the supports are top, so they can play more aggressively at bottom. Distance doesn't have to be worried so much at mid. They need to carry some TPs here, though, on Aster.
Oh, that's not good. That's not what you want to do.
That was really greedy from him.
Oh, gotta watch out here for the Sunstrike as well, as they're going to be able to find the stun, and Fade just going to burn down. Ignite, not quite enough damage.
Mid lane, Rupture used.
He's got bigger issues right now, as they're going to be able to get the Thirst Vision immediately through, and D-Stone's trying to survive through it. Deafening Blast hits onto both of them. Able to split the uprights, and they get the kill onto Paparazzi. Ori, though, trying to see if he can bring down Bobica, and we'll be able to find that kill.
There's Bloodseekers. Getting out of control. That's exactly what he needs to do. They're playing aggressive on the side lanes, keeping them low. Applying pressure, Silencer with your Arcane Curse. Zeus just throwing those bolts.
And Aster have put all of these wards in the Radiant jungle, kind of scouting things out, but I don't think Vici are actually interested in just sitting and farming right now. They're very much just going to be continuing to pressure, continuing to gank. Ember can keep on moving. The Bloodseeker's going to have another Rupture in 10 seconds time. So I don't really feel like these wards are doing that much for them at the moment.
And in the meantime, it's just kind of been Invoker that's been left to his own devices, not able to do anything at all. The only way I feel like they really can get him accelerated in farm is trying to find some arrow setups and then give him the last hit with the Sunstrike, but that's not necessarily easy.
And they're just going to grab Fenrir here. It's a freebie. Free int.
12 so far on that silencer in 10 minutes. And now the Empower race is going to continue on as they pick up bounty runes. 2 apiece, it looks like.
This is nice though with the, at least when you've got more mobile heroes like the Bloodseeker and the Ember moving around, they're more likely to pick up a random Empower here or there when they link up with the Magnus. So they're going to get more out of it in the early game.
Yang in trouble. Gonna try and get out of there, but with the Metamorphosis out as well, and the chase, is it actually gonna happen? Sylar ruptured, RP onto 1. Do they get the vision? They can't quite spot him out. Sunstrike available as well if they want to go for it, but just gonna hit the Deafening Blast, and now on top of him, Silence. Can he survive through this with the Sunder? Not gonna happen. Long duration Silence. The Global comes out as well, and Vici take down 3.
Oh man, Silencer got so much intelligence from that fight. 18, I just want to check. Yeah, Panda has 279 mana pool.
Oh.
The Zeus is just also doing so much damage at this point in the game. Like, he's really making the Bloodseeker into a monster in every single one of these fights. Couple of bolts, throw out the ulti, and he's zooming around.
Good old Zeus Bloodseeker.
Yeah, they nerfed it, but still solid.
And they're gonna take a tier 1 tower on mid. Bloodseeker. Yeah, I guess they need something to stop the TPs. Also good way to get rid of the Ignite, Cold Snap.
Do you think he's gonna go like... Oh, the Aghanim's build is terrible, surely.
Nah. No, I think he'll just get Yules and then he'll buy pretty standard right-click items, more or less.
I'm just thinking, you know, you got this Magnus skewer range talent and put it all to work.
Rupture 2 people and then skewer them.
Oh, it makes the RP amazing. Moonlight Shadow. First one looking to be used. Who needs a Blink Dagger? We can just walk into people and maybe going to be able to find the lift up. There's going to be the initiation onto Ori right from the get-go. Arrow going to connect Sunstrike as well. Do they have enough damage? They don't quite get the kill for the Invoker, but they still will find the finish. Now chasing forward for more. There's going to be the Zeus ulti. My God, Fade just completely eliminated. And now looking more for Yang. They're able to find him with the Meteor after the skewer. Beautiful setup. And XXS also able to escape, it looks like. Well, Ember is trying to get out of there, but he's slowed down for the moment as well. They did bring down the Invoker.
Double damage, empowered Ember.
Oh, and Fenrir's dead too. More int. 22.
Yeah, meanwhile, Sylar applying a lot of pressure on the top tower, forcing out the glyph.
Well, 18 to 10, and in this best of 3, Vici looking to tie it up.
Also, Zeus bought back in the previous fight, but I like what he's building. Just
good.
Straight
he like set up
Aghanims.
2 kills from that buyback, so very good.
8, 2, and 7 on the Silencer. Are you kidding me? Lacoste, what do you have to say, man?
This is a perfect Silencer game, where you create chaos and he's in every single fight, but sometimes it just doesn't work that way because you die first and you don't get any int off. Wow. Yule's already used to set up that Blood Rage.
Heads up play there from Sylar to make sure you can get out.
Nicely done. Oh.
Fade. Sunstrike and Fountain. Oh, not gonna happen.
I feel like XXS hesitated a little bit on that.
Yeah.
And D-Stones did go for the urn, but still going to be going back for the Midas. So, I mean, this is kind of a catch-up Midas for him at this point. He's bottom 5 on net worth.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as you talked about in the draft, they don't have tower hitters. So that's one thing that you can sort of rely on for Team Aster, is you're probably going to be able to go into the late game with
Everyone
this.
becomes a tower hitter if you use Blood Rage plus Empower on them.
Just Blood Rage Empower the catapult. That's the strat here.
I mean, for high ground at least, though, it does become a problem.
Yeah, it is going to be a little bit of an issue. They don't have the best heroes to just walk up and siege. They are just going for a BKB on this Bloodseeker, so Ori going for a pretty safe build overall. But this is the nice thing, we talked about it in the previous game as well with the Terrorblade. When you've got the Empower, you don't have to buy farming items to get farm, so you can afford to buy the fighting items and still have your late game be pretty secure.
They thought about Zeus ulti. They realize now that there's a smoke. And with that revealed, Vici gonna play much more carefully. Fenrir maybe trying to bait out a D ward behind the tower, but he didn't actually place one himself. And now it's a smoke up from Vici. Empowered Bloodseeker, Blink Dagger done on Yang. They're walking forward for this one. They're gonna spot out Fenrir. He sees them as well. Dusk gonna be popped in. A little bit off the mark from Vici. Are they gonna take this fight? RP immediately? Now they have the skewer afterwards. Gonna be able to kill off that Mirana most likely. But nonetheless, they walk in with the rest and going to be able to control with that Brewmaster lifting up one onto the Bloodseeker, trying to find that kill with the Cold Step. It's going to be the Eul Scepter to take it off. Now, can they kill him off a second time, though? They get the second hurl boulder. Sylar trying to get the Sunder, but was not able to get it in time. And now Aster, far too deep, are going to be punished as they lose the Brew, lose the Terrorblade. Mirana's dead. Ill-advised play as they're baiting out the skewer, able to catch him there. They've got the dust to boot, and D-Stone's just trying to TP. Is it going to happen? Yes.
Oh, no, Ember Spirit ditched him. He thought he was dead for sure, or just wanted to pick up Arcane Rune for himself. Like, the way this fight started was kind of good for Aster. Brewmaster using Split before the Global, because I don't think... Okay, see, he had the vision on Silencer because of that ward, which is being picked out right now.
But still, after that, kind of went to... If they got the Sunder off, it would have been okay, I think. But unfortunately, couldn't find a target.
Oh, 2 for the price of 1.
Did you see both of them? Oh, yeah. Oh, perfect bolt positioning. Doesn't have the mana for another one. Oh, no.
He's going to hide and come back.
He's going to get that one. Man, that feels real bad. And those were like freshly planted too by Aster.
Oh, it's a bunch of gold for the Zeus.
Getting towards that Ags. And Ori this whole time empowered up, hitting Ancients. Top of the net worth and going for that safe build that's going to allow him to keep fighting.
Yeah, we did see in the in that last fight that if he gets the cold snap on him or the Brewmaster Primal Split is up in his face, it is a little bit difficult. So I do like this decision from him, and then he can always go back for whatever right-click damage item he feels like he wants. Could even go BKB and then go back for Radiance, to be honest. It's not a totally terrible idea.
You know what else we saw in that last fight?
What?
Rupture Skewer.
Yes, we did.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Nice combo.
Sick.
Hand of Midas?
You guys love combos?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Tell me the best combo that you experience in Dota.
Bloodseeker, Tusk, Pudge. Oof. Tusk Ags.
Tusk Ags, yeah, I know.
Yeah. Right, give me a minute here. I'm trying to think. I've played a lot of Dota games.
Uh-oh. You might need to hold that thought. Bobica, run away, my buddy. Eul Scepter lift up. He's getting chased down here and does still have Split. Going to be able to get it off. Chase down for more. Tornado lift up onto one. Seeing if they can catch DY. He is in the air and all of Vici. They don't quite hit on the arrow. Another hurl boulder. The Rupture again on Mirana and the Skewer. But the RP a little bit off the mark was able to catch onto the Invoker. And now he's silenced, in trouble and in the grave. And what was looking oh so good for only a moment has gone tragically for Aster as they're going to lose 3.
They need to fight with Terrorblade or try not to fight at all. They're way, way weaker than Vici right now. I guess Terrorblade just wants to get a BKB and then he's ready to fight. So they should just try to dodge it.
Yeah, this Silencer also is just completely out of control with his int. Up to 32 right now.
Fenrir didn't even he's not even being seen by the Ember right now, but he sees that Remnant drift over and he's like, no, see ya, I'm out of here. I've got my combo as well. I think I've thought of my favorite one. It's the Kunkka Echo Saber with Coddle Chakra Magic.
That's a great one.
That I love that one. the double Tidebringer hit.
Does that still work? I think they might not have fixed that. Because I think you can do a double cleave anyways.
I never knew about that combo. Arrow's gonna hit.
All right, Signs of Life. as they're gonna find DY. This is a big kill. He has been involved in so many. 461 going to XXS. 464.
All right. So Vici got a little bit greedy for the bouncy runes there. Thought that they could contest those ones off of the right-hand side of the map, but even with that ward that they've got up there, seeing them coming did not help. They still got brought down.
Still a pretty even game. Only 3k net worth advantage for Vici. They just need this Terror Blade to be ready. And he has a BKB now, so they can take a fight.
Yep. Ember going for the Searing Chains talent. Really nice to have against the Mirana, especially. Gives her a very, very hard time.
He is still a little bit of a glass cannon right now with that Maelstrom and the Blink. Tornado, not going to be quite hitting there.
And they have a really bad catch on the side of Aster. They need to either hit the arrow or just try to use Cold Snap from Moonlight Shadow.
D-Stones is going for Yule's. I don't know how much I like this Yule Scepter, to be honest. Like it does help him a little bit, but he needs BKB eventually.
He might still change it. Like
he has bought some components. Does he not have the? What's he got? Well, you're the one with the computer. He has bought the staff and the Void Stone at this point.
So he just bought a Void Stone.
I mean, he can do some nice little combos if he needs to. The biggest thing is just surviving against Bloodseeker, I think, too.
Yeah, it'll buy him a few seconds.
Hopefully at that point the team can come back in, or he can go like Deafening Blast or something to just get him off of him. But it's part of the reason why I'd kind of like to see this Bloodseeker just go for like a Blade Mail.
He's got the BKB at this point, so I think he's just going to go for a damage item at this stage. Maybe even go for like a Basher.
Yeah, Basher sounds great.
Yeah. Just if he gets a random bash on the TB at the right time, like that can just kill him before he gets anything up.
Okay, they wanted that kill, but they're going to keep Fate alive and, well, now turn it back around. Bruce split out. Time to run away.
Wait, he's coming. He's coming back. He's trying to.
All right.
Trying to figure out his hotkeys.
All right, Yang is going to RP him.
Magnus. He doesn't see him.
Oh, jeez. Pull back in onto one, and, well, he's getting dumber. He is getting dumber.
Miss?
What?
Miss again? No.
He's gone. Did he not get the in for that?
I don't think so.
He didn't. He had 32.
Nice.
He was out of range.
Sick.
That was a primal split used for nothing, really. I mean, they forced out the global, so, but that wasn't really because of the split. That was more just going for that Zeus kill.
23 minutes in, and feeling like Vici is in control of this game. Though Aster is certainly not out of it completely by any stretch of the imagination. They're going to Moonlight Shadow in, see if they can find a kill, but they're walking right by Sentry Wards, I believe. No, those are theirs. But they find the stun into the arrow, and Paparazzi dead. Glass
nice.
cannon. Dual Scepter lift up. Ogre, goodbye.
DI.
That time around DY makes he sticks
much
there
damage.
to get the int. Yeah, he hits really hard. I like the way that Aster are still continuing to go for these like little pickoffs and stuff, right? The Brewmaster is off trying to set up Sunstrikes. The rest of the team is also kind of off doing their own thing. They're buying time while the Invoker and the TB continue to farm up. This is what they need to be doing. They need to keep Vici at least a little bit scared, right? Otherwise, they're just going to farm up the whole map with Empower and pull really, really far ahead. So they have to make it so that Vici still feel the need to stay at least grouped up a little bit.
And the advantage is slowly dropping. 2k right now. Mirana just needs a BKB, and then she's going to be ready to fight. I don't know if she want to buy something like a Lincoln Sphere.
I definitely think you need a damage item before you go back for Lincolns, right? I don't know if Maelstrom BKB Lincolns is a super effective
I mean, if he wants to
build.
live, he might go for a Satanic. Just a man up against the Bloodseeker, hold the ground.
Yeah, could be good. I don't know what other, like, what else would he go damage-wise? Could just get a crit, but doesn't seem amazing necessarily. Okay, Paparazzi's queued up the Radiance, so it looks like he's going to be the one going for that. So we'll just have to see what the Bloodseeker's going for.
Still no defensive items. I don't know. I feel like that last engagement right there proved that he kind of needs something to stay alive.
Yeah, I wonder what that would be. Could go for an Aeon Disc eventually.
Yeah.
But
Moonlight Shadow. This was revealed a second ago, I believe, as the Zeus ulti went out. As Ori tries to escape, he is going to go
TP.
for the arrow. Marana, you god! XXS hits it up and able to take him down.
Oh, that's a huge kill.
Oh, he tips him. D-Stones with the respect. Oh.
that was totally blind, right? He had, I don't think he had any vision on the Bloodseeker for almost any of that, but very, very nice. Oh, Venrir.
Chase forward, and they'll be able to find one in turn. Whew. That was beautiful. God, I'm still just got some tingles over there.
Very nice. Marana did queue up the crit, so it looks like the decision has been made to just pick up a little bit more damage. Hasn't bought any of the components just yet, so XSS could still change his mind. But he's getting pretty close to having that mini crit at the very least.
Hello. Goodbye. Running out of there. BKB immediately. The global comes out after the BKB, though, so they can't chase with the arrow, although they might still be able to find it after the fact. Jumps forward, arrow connects, also with the cold snap. Yang starting to fall, and man, XXS. But also,
They might go for Roche or just try to go for tier 2, maybe even threaten tier 3.
how quickly the stuff changes in these games.
I feel like Roche is a way to go. They have no global silence, no RP.
There isn't a BKB on Marana, but I don't think it matters. As you mentioned, this is a very, very quick take, and Terrorblade just completely laying into it. They're going to throw down the Blood Right, walk in a little bit closer.
They have so many zoning spells.
Really hard to deal with. It's going to be the Thunder God's Wrath. Can go for the Tornado Lift Up. Ori, everybody's getting sort of low. He's running around very quickly. Blood right there. Again, Bobica, you will Scepter Lift Up. Sylar, he gets the Sunder off to turn it back around. Able to get it. Aegis is on Paparazzi, though, so that's a big win for Vici, but they've already lost everybody else. It's the only good thing that they got going for them, and now the Cold Snap. Can Paparazzi get out of there? No more Sunder for the TB, but it doesn't matter. They chase out of there. Just like that, Aster.
Man, that Sunder won them this particular fight, but sadly for them, Paparazzi stole Aegis. Are they gonna find him Arrow? Oof.
I think XXS didn't have his screen in the right place. He threw the arrow at the Zeus as the Ember was respawning from the Aegis, and I think if he'd thrown the arrow and hit the Ember as he popped up, they would have gotten the kill for sure. But he was already focused on the Zeus. He probably moved his camera past. But other than that, fantastic fight. Going a little bit further back, I can totally see why Vici went for that attempt on the Marana's life at mid. It's like a somewhat unexpected gank to go for while the Bloodseeker is dead. But they kind of got next leveled by Boboka just sitting right there with the Yule Scepter, anticipating that they might do something like that.
They were really pushing the limits there with that Roche fight.
Yeah.
Zeus respawned maybe a little too early with the Nimbus.
Man, I gotta say, like, even though the Roche fight didn't go perfectly, I'm so impressed with Aster and their ability to, like, just hold off over and over and over again. Find a couple of pickoffs here or there, but not, like, just completely give up, and then they take the perfect fight for themselves. A little bit of an overcommitment by Vici, and they punish it. And then, after that, taking objectives. Smoke up right now. Sylar, the one that's walking forward. They could think about going on him. D-Stones, just barely away.
Looks like they're not going to find anything. They don't have an Observer Ward on Silencer, so this is a little bit of a wasted smoke from that perspective, that they managed to get all the way over onto the enemy side of the map, but they don't establish any vision. Kind of a shame, but just how the timing ended up working out. Silencer now into his GPM talent.
D-Stones finishing off his Ags just a couple of minutes ago.
Yep, and now going back for the BKB. So we did say that he had to get this eventually. It's nice that he's been able to delay it a little bit longer, since he's going to have these really long, impactful BKB charges for some of the more important fights. And we
Radiant's
shall
bottom
have to see.
tower is under attack.
The more I think about it, the more I really like this Daedalus on the Mirana, actually. It means that if like a lot of the spells end up getting... wasting a bunch on the solution. If a lot of the spells end up getting wasted on the other, or focused onto the other cores, XXS could be in a position to still carry the fight by himself, like kill off 2 or 3 heroes just spamming leaps.
Yeah, and he has Bloodlust plus a leap attack speed, maybe even gets alacrity in a fight. So if he's not the one to be focused, man, that's really serious damage on Mirana right now.
Yeah, she is a monster. I believe she has the leap attack speed talent as well.
Yeah.
Oh, he didn't know that he has a Linken's. That's a freshly bought Linken's on Ember Spirit.
Get your wish, Lyrical. Finally see some kind of defensive item on Paparazzi here.
Yeah, he needs it. I mean, it's just goes to show how quickly this can all turn around. Because now, at the very least, you need like an ignite into Fire Blast on Paparazzi. I'm glad he didn't decide to go for the Radiance.
Yeah, they don't really have the best ways to start off on him. And if he just survives, like, the more rounds of spells that he gets off in a fight, the more damage he's going to do.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty decent.
I think we're seeing here, though, why Mirana is just such a strong pick. Like, Arrow is death. And there's a lot of ways to set up for it.
Yeah, it's one of those abilities where, like... It's weird because normally you talk about this in the context of like big AoE ultimates, right? But just a randomly well-landed arrow can win you a team fight and win you the game.
Yeah, but also if you don't land your arrows, the hero can look so underwhelming.
True.
Magnus has a mech done. Vici very well aware that Aster are here, and they hit the arrow again onto Magnus. They're gonna drop down the meteor right on top of him, force out the global. It's gonna be a solo RP onto Mirana, who's perfectly fine with this for the moment, but will die to the rupture. Now, can they take this fight after the fact? That's gonna be very low HP. They managed to get the spade off. There's gonna Cataclysm as well. Doesn't connect onto anybody, and they're running away, trying to escape. But D-Stone's still on the hunt, looking for the lift up there onto the Bloodseeker. A rare miss on the ice wall as well. Sylar walking forward, does have Sunder available if they need to use it. The BKB out as well. This is a pretty deep chase for Aster, and with no more blue split, are they really going to be able to make this work? Does have that Sunder, needs to get out of range, though. He gets silenced and in some trouble. Can he survive through it? No. They've lost yet another. XSS jumps back into the fight. BKB out. They're trying to kill everybody off, and they're going to lose the brew as well. Find themselves yet another kill. XSS needing to get out of here as BKB is going to wear off in a second, but no more leap charges, and Yang going to also be able to finish that one off. D-Stone's the only one left alive as Aster went too far.
Every single time Terrorblade gets the Sunder off, they win a fight. If he doesn't, they lose it.
I think he got a little bit greedy there. He was on half HP and he could have sundered the Zeus, but instead they tried to cold snap and right click him down. And then got silenced, and that was a dieback from XXS. He bought back to rejoin that fight.
The full Guardian Greaves done. They answer for the global.
He's on their team.
Oh, don't worry. I know what's going on. All right, this is a silencer that has 46 in. That is not going to work.
DY didn't even hesitate. The Invoker popped out and started hitting him, and he just started hitting him right back. He didn't even have to think about that. He was like,
he also got a lot of armor from the Guardian Greaves.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Even if he had killed the silencer, I'm not sure what D-Stone's escape plan was there. That seemed like a little bit of a
Bloodseeker is alive. They're going to see you. Zeus has ulti and Nimbus as well.
I mean, this is the position 5 silencer. You don't anticipate getting like destroyed in a man fight against it, right? Like, it's a little crazy.
You gotta click on these heroes. You gotta actually think about, like, man, this guy's got 1.7k HP and a bunch of damage. Maybe I shouldn't go for this. But now I got the Abyssal Blade on the Bloodseeker, so getting that Sunder off is gonna be even more difficult.
Well, they have the skewer. Bobica, see you later. Oh, maybe? Does he get it off? No, he's dead. More int for DY. 50 int stolen for this guy. And he didn't even go for that 15 talent. He is going into the GPM, so actually going to be able to get some more of these items.
Yeah, could... I don't even know what he's necessarily going to go for here.
Just get sight.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think that's that bad. There's nothing else. There's no other like small item that feels amazing. Force Staff doesn't feel super necessary. I don't really want him to go anything like right-click oriented, but the Scythe is super useful and definitely possible.
Sometimes you see Atos wouldn't be terrible against the Mirana necessarily, but yeah, Scythe is always the big daddy of the items. Right now, Brewmaster sitting at just under 500 mana after losing a fair bit of that intelligence.
And that's with a Yule.
Yeah.
Oh, man. He's not having a very fun time.
This is DY's best game of ever I've seen from him, it looks like. This guy's playing out of his mind. So how does this change as the game gets later and later? Because it feels like Vici are just kind of accelerating in damage. Was it just that was a bad fight for Aster? Or talk to me about how you see this going.
I do still like Aster's late game quite a bit. Like, they've got a lot of damage from the Mirana and the Terrorblade, and it's much easier for them to get their damage out compared to these melee heroes over on the Vici side. Like, once the Scotty comes up for the Terrorblade, I think the game becomes quite difficult for the Bloodseeker, unless they're getting these like good fight starts from the Magnus, or maybe even the Ember a little bit. So I think Aster is still okay with a few more items.
Tornado lift up onto one. He's rooted. In some trouble for a moment, but the Yule Scepter lift up.
Arrow.
Ooh, neatly dodged. Chain's able to connect.
They need to keep this Mirana alive. She has a full Daedalus. She can't get ruptured in a team fight because she's pretty much main source of the damage. Terrorblade as well, and they also need to rely on Sunder. Roche is up. G's and Aegis.
Yeah, always such a huge component of the fights, and getting into that third Roche eventually when you get the refresher shards out there. Just on number 2 for now.
Aster going all in. Scotty bought on Terrorblade, no buyback.
Oh,
But
God,
they have
dang.
no vision on Magnus. There's the one sentry on mid, doesn't reach him.
Radiant's bottom tower
Ori,
is under attack.
are you gonna bait this out? Aster, you gotta be so careful with the positioning here.
This is a huge fight. The gem's
Ember
being
just TP'd
purchased as well.
bottom. Does he have a remnant?
There's the rupture onto Sylar. Needs to be wary of the skewer, and he's going to back out for the moment as they've already found one. There's going to be a Cataclysm down. Can they get the kill in time? Yang down to half HP, but he's already used the rupture. Now able to find the batch onto Mirana. She's going to go down. They did get the brew split, but I think they need to retreat. With no Mirana, that's so much of their damage gone. And Fenrir, he's going to have to be the sacrificial lamb, it looks like, as he will eventually be brought down. But Brew needs to get out of here. These Brewlings are going to fall. Sylar going to completely break the game and maybe break down the rest of Vici as well. Can he kill off DY? Paparazzi almost gone, and
One
in
more
range, he's
hit.
actually walking away. DY is going to probably fall here, but they get out on the Ember.
Oh man, they needed that kill on Ember so bad. I don't think he has a buyback. Yeah, he lacks 300 gold for a buyback.
Well, they did manage to still take the fight in spite of everything else. And as you said, it's Scotty that does it.
Yeah, not getting these 2 core kills really hurts. And Aster got to make sure that they disengage as a team. Don't have any stragglers, otherwise Ember's just going to chase him down.
They take off the Arcane Rune at the very least. That could have been tragic. But it looks like Paparazzi going to need to back out now. So the retreat, it was a battle for potentially Roche, but I don't think either side feel comfortable taking it after that.
Man, Yang is landing such a good RPs throughout the whole game.
Yeah, 2 men there, skewered them back. It's been looking really good.
He has a lot of vision though and a lot of backup. Zeus, ulti plus Nimbus, always global silence, and Ember Spirit. They are trying to focus him down, but they don't have a real lockdown for him.
Yeah, it'd be great to get a Scythe on one of Team Aster potentially. Wouldn't mind that as like a next item on Ron. I guess she needs to be a damage dealer.
Yeah, I think, but TB or Invoker, it's not unreasonable for Scythe to come out there.
Invoker has a BKB now, so probably gonna work towards Sight.
the reflection on Terrorblade just blinking into everybody. Oh, able to find him. They couldn't break the Lincolns first. That might have been a kill with the arrow follow-up. But
yeah, they just misordered a little bit, right? They needed the cold snap to pop and then the stun, not the other way around.
I think the best way to execute was pop a Lincoln's with the Fire Blast and Yule Scepter into Mirana's arrow. Like, they can time that.
Sunstrike, they see it, but can they get here in time? I don't think so. Aegis cheese into the hand of Vici. And now you need to weather the storm if you're Team Aster, and likewise for Vici, get something done with this Aegis. Down towards the bottom, DY, he spots out Fenrir. And this silencer hits mighty hard, but the Invis getting out of there, he's away.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Should deward him. Knew that he was in the area doing something, but nobody doing that just yet. I guess they just want to wait until they get the gem over here. And they can get rid of it pretty easily. And yeah, the silencer is just going to be going for a scythe.
The Brewmaster doesn't have a blink, is that right?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Still working on it. He's been working on it for a while.
He had it.
No, he's been doing an all right job of just running in and being able to pop the split this game. And the other thing is that Vici's still not great at high grounding, so Aster still have that high ground defense aspect going for them.
The quick leap away, unless they get caught. And Ori level 24 on this Bloodseeker. As we have hit the first level 25 of the game. It's going to be Ember going for the Remnant Charge Restore Time. Can just be jumping around all over the place and keep his split push game going.
Yeah. Even when we see like the physical damage Ember build, I feel like it's still pretty common to get the Remnant Restore Time.
Yeah,
It's so much more mobility.
And he's going for Octarine Core. I've seen some greedy Embers just building Maelstrom into Octarine Core as a second item when you don't need to build a defensive one.
Tried to get him there. They are under a ward right now. Vici Gaming and Paparazzi moving forward. See if he can find anybody. They do run into one. XSS not going to be able to hit onto the arrow. He pops the BKB, trying to run away. Bobica there as well. They do have the split if they need to use it. Going to be able to get it off at least one time. Now, can they get any of these heroes under control? Paparazzi is going to be purged one time through as they actually able to take down Fade, but they will lose the Ogre in turn.
Random sentry on mid.
6 minutes, baby.
They killed Zeus though.
Yeah, Sunstrike.
Pretty nice. He's a lot of damage. Does have a buyback available if he really feels the need to use it.
So a 7,000 gold lead with no Zeus. They might feel a little bit less secure trying to push for anything significant, but they can at least take out all of the jungle here.
I'm starting to get a little bit worried about this inability to go high ground for Vici. Like, I don't know when that changes, and Aster still have some room to grow on this full tri-core. I think it's just kind of a problem of that Ember Spirit faces a little bit as a hero.
Yeah. Ori is going for items to try and make that happen, going back for the blink after the Abyssal.
Yeah, I guess what they have to do is they have to just commit past the tower, win the team fight inside of Aster's base, and then they can and then they can take the buildings.
Killing off these Terrorblade illusions.
Roche may respawn in 4 minutes 15 seconds, so that means
They still have the Aegis on Paparazzi.
Aegis for a minute.
Yeah, minute 15.
But yeah, you talk about room to grow. I mean, there's a lot left on the Mirana especially, but the problem is they haven't been able to keep the farm rates up really for these heroes. It's been a problem.
No, but if they can't end the game on the Vici side, then eventually passive gold is gonna give you some items. Whatever little scraps are arriving at your base.
So what's the point when you go Radiance Terrorblade? Uh-oh, Ori jumps in, Abyssal Blade immediately there. Can they kill him off in time? He's living. Does still have a Sunder available as well, and they get the wrong illusion. Able to blink away. My God, he's really low. Gets the Sunder off, and now Fenrir trying to run away. Lift up Yule Scepter, arrow to follow it up. Can they get the hit? It's not going to connect there. Still silenced on this Terrorblade. Manta, though, already out. Now getting the Cold Snap onto the Ember. He's low on mana, and they're going to walk forward, actually. Try and find this. Paparazzi's completely out of mana, but they can't chase forward with Fenrir.
It's a very brave move by Fenrir.
What was he doing there?
I think he might have been trying to interrupt the Ember's TP.
The Aegis also, I guess.
Yeah, also a possibility. Because I think he saw that the Ember was pretty much so I think he was hoping that he was going to put a Remnant down and try and TP out, and he was going to like cancel it and keep him there, but I don't know what else he would have been trying for.
12,000 net worth lead. Vici still holding on in this game. And we have seen some of the avenues for them to try and take the win, but we've been talking about it's tough to get up on high ground.
Magnus with the refresher.
All right, always some big play potential here.
I don't think they want to risk anything before the next Roche. It's a refresher, shard as well.
Gem picked up for the Ogre. We also had one left over on Yang. And right now, maybe trying to bait out that Ember Spirit. D-Stones was in the area, but it's a little scary. Just head in on Paparazzi.
D-Stones is not that far away from being able to pick up this Hex. The fact that he went for the Midas early on was just, I think, a really good read on this game. He was behind, he needed the catch up, and knew that they weren't going to be able to end this too quickly, so
The wraparound.
it's now paying itself back.
Coming in, Yang, the RP on the 4!
RP.
He's got him all caught, they got him a second time, the refresher! Oh, dear Lord! Oh, wow.
Pack your bags. We're taking this one home. Man,
All right. Game 3, here we come.
I mean, they do still have buyback on the Mirana, but this is looking like, God, if they don't get something here, surely after that RP, you gotta find something. Refresher, or excuse me, the Metamorphosis is already out, trying to take down and control. The Silencer, the Global comes out after that BKB is already out, so they can't get off the Sunder. Terrorblade dead, does have buyback, but won't have Metamorphosis. Vici still not completely able to hit buildings for free as the reflection comes out as well. D-Stones just trying to do whatever he possibly can to give his carry some damage. But it is a tier 3 tower finally taken. And the Tornado lift up as they jumped in with the Ember. The arrow not quite gonna be there on the mark, but they did burn through all of the mana. And Vici right now just have to feel so frustrated that they can't freaking finish off these buildings. Yule Scepter lift up, jump in onto D-Stone's not gonna fully connect, and still the glyph stands. Arrow? Okay. That's a jump in on a Bloodseeker. Cataclysm as well. They can't quite finish him off. Ori runs away yet again, and no buyback on D-Stones. Still chasing Bobica, trying to get the clap, trying to get the kill. Can they do it? They end up hitting the Sunder onto the Lincoln Spear, and Terrorblade is dead. This one is going to go to a game number 3 as GG is called.
Oof, man, that RP from XXS coming from the side. I don't think he had the vision because Zeus revealed with the refresher or just keeping them in place.
That 4-man D-Ward cost them dearly.
Yeah. Oh God, it hurts, and it's really frustrating, I'm sure too, for Aster, because you play so well throughout all of the game. Like they were really, conservative whenever they needed to be, and then doesn't end up working out. Ugh.
Oh, doubted the Magnus. Doubted the Silencer.
Doubted the Silencer. Well, that Silencer did well because he was pretty much at every single fight early on, got a lot of intelligence, crippled. You can see Invoker. You can see Sylar as well. Even though they nerfed some of his spells, you need to use more mana. Panda, like he couldn't use spells early on, had no mana.
My God.
Oh, well.
64 int stolen in the end, and that's going to do it for game number 2. Ladies and gents, upper bracket action going to continue on with one final game. Who's going to come out on top in China, Vici or Aster? Find out right after this.
Intel technology powers the best of esports, and the best demand a superior level of performance. So we're introducing the 9th Gen Intel Core i9 processors, designed for the world's best gamers. In celebration with our community, we're hosting the 9th Gen Intel Core i9 processor Dream Stakes. We want to bring you inside our world of esports for once-in-a-lifetime experience that only Intel can provide. Enter for a chance to win a trip to one of 9 world-class events across 3 sweepstakes. We're taking the winner and a guest behind the scenes for a one-of-a-kind VIP treatment. Winners will also get the latest 9th Gen Intel Core i9 processor and walk away with exclusive swag. Enter for your chance to win starting November 5th, 2018. Visit corei9.intel.com to sign up for more information.
Remember where it started. Your first experiences. The journey you traveled. The journey you love. Remember where it started. And imagine where it will go. Rise on.
No matter what your passion is, soccer, rugby, racing, or esports, become a part of the experience with the moments we deliver.
The more information you have, the better the decisions. Data is crucial to do important decisions in Dota games and even before the Dota game in preparation. It's really cool that a big company like SAP is investing into esports and that I can be a part of it is amazing.
Bitburger 0.0. Select your favorite. Containing vitamins, isotonic, and with unbeatable freshness. Bitburger 0.0, always a bit more refreshed.
ESL One Hamburg is brought to you in part by Intel, Mercedes-Benz, Vodafone, DHL, Alienware, Logitech G, and PaySafeCard.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back again to ESL One Hamburg. We're here in the upper bracket, continuing our coverage for you on this wonderful evening in Germany. Jolly old Germany. I think that's the expression. Maybe it's London, I don't know. But we're here.
It's fine.
One intro.
Either way.
As we hop into our game number 3, Vici versus Aster. Already a classic, an instant classic. That's how these things go. And, you know, I got to say, I feel like Vici showed some real signs of life in game number 1, and even more so game number 2, obviously, since they won it. Yang, just a beast. But he wasn't the only thing. He wasn't the only one.
I mean, we were praising him about his RPs, even during the mid game and in the late game. Man, he just delivered.
Yeah, and I think they really needed that to end that game right there, right? We even saw after they got that and they all bought back, they still struggled a little bit to try and break the high ground. They were having a much easier time killing heroes than killing buildings, so they really needed that right then. Because I think once they got the Hex up on D-Stones, which wasn't too far away, that's when the Ember may have started dying and stuff like that. You got a big smile on your face. Game. What's going on here? Oh, you guys are playing. You guys are playing ready check footsies under the table.
For everybody back at home, the entire last panel, Lacoste and Scriff just kept on. We're in a party together, so we would go to the lobby, and they just kept on hitting the ready check button. I'm trying to do my epic intros and outros, and I'm not a good host anyway, so I'm struggling with this.
You're doing
these guys.
a good job. Keep it up. Back to you, host.
But yeah, we do have 3 out of 10 in the lobby waiting for the rest of them to pop in. I mean, it's been a long night. They might want to grab a little bit of food in between the games and everything.
Yep.
You know, you got to make sure you're playing at tip-top peak performance.
They've only played 2 games so far, well, 4 now, but both these teams have hardly played any Dota at all. I feel like it's reasonable to expect these guys to be able to play. They probably play 10 pub games a day. They can't play 4
games.
They can't
4
play
official games in a row. Come on.
They even had a break between the first 2 and then this series.
That's true. The thing about it is that Vici they had a longer break than Aster, and they got to see Aster play all their games beforehand.
Yes.
So I don't know.
And Aster are the ones in the lobby right now. Vici are coming in a little bit later.
Step it up, guys. Unbelievable. Calling you out right now. I actually probably shouldn't. I'd get in trouble for that. It's not a good thing. Yeah, so Invoker, still a monstrous hero. It's sort of weird. Like in the other games, I feel like it was always, okay, you have to deal with the Phoenix. You have to deal with the Tiny. You have to deal with these specific heroes. And in this one, it's Ogre that is the first pick hero that sort of does a little bit of everything. Is there a sort of game-defining hero for you for either of these teams?
I think both of these teams are really versatile and they can pick pretty much whatever they want. Invoker, not the best performance in the previous game, had a really bad matchup at the mid, kind of crippled him. He still decided to go for a Midas, which he was unable to farm all of his items, but there was a good setup for Invoker for pretty much anything. They had an arrow, and that's it. Even when the Cataclysm was online, they couldn't use it because they had no stuns.
It looked impressive every single time, but I mean, they had better success just using regular stuns and regular Sunstrike instead of the Cataclysm, which was a little bit weird. I feel like, to your question, Gabe, that maybe it's the Terrorblade a little bit in this series and in the last couple of games that started to become the big focus. Like, one team is picking TB, and so the other team is picking Morphling to respond, or the Zeus is becoming more prioritized. It seems to be gravitating in that direction in terms of what's sort of defining the local metagame of these games.
Is that Terrorblade has lost both of the games.
I think his win rate is actually pretty bad. It wasn't great at the start of the day, and we've seen him lose a whole bunch. So, yeah, Statsman Lacoste will look it up for us.
Budget Nahaz, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that it's the hero that has a lot of problems, and you those are really significant and evident when you run into like all the big AoE team fight stuff, and particularly these heroes, they're scaling a little bit later. You got the Ember Spirit, and it's tended to get picked up earlier too, which I think is part of the reason for it.
Yeah, and I think that was also, I think we also saw Terrorblade lose in, well, we didn't see it because we were casting Vici versus Aster, but I think VP picked it, and Secret did the same thing. They picked the Zeus and made Terrorblade's life miserable.
Yeah, so it's 29 matches for Terrorblade, 45% win rate.
Okay.
Average KDA for 57. So I was expecting a little bit more out of Terrorblade. Maybe these 2 games that he just lost took him down a little bit. But Zeus, man, it's so hard to play Terrorblade into Zeus because there's always afraid that you're going to get blasted before the Sunder. So sometimes you just see Sunders used on half HP. Also, his illusions take 400% extra more damage. So with just the bolt, you destroy all the illusions.
Yeah, and even the Zeus is super annoying for TB, like you're saying with the illusions, because you can't farm. Like, normally as a Terrorblade, you're sending these illusions to a wave, and then you're going to get the entire creep wave. Zeus, he's a support. He runs up, he bolts it, it's dead. You're not getting any of those creeps, and you're actually impacting his farm a lot.
It's really frustrating. I think they've come up with good answers to it, and maybe you just need to protect it more, but it feels like the hero has so many counters that it kind of doesn't work anyways. So we'll see if they keep going to it or if maybe there's going to be a change up in priority. I don't know if there's anything really. I was wondering if maybe the Luna was going to be something that they go back to, because that's something that Vici really prioritize.
I think now that we're in game 3 of this best of 3, it's the draft for the next game is going to be more defined by the previous 2 games than anything else coming in. So the fact that both of these 2 teams like Luna, sure, that's a factor, but I think it's more going to be about the heroes that we've seen played in the last 2 games than anything else. That's also just what's fresh in their minds, right? And I think they're sometimes people underestimate the amount of random things that happen in Dota tournaments. Like, you walk past somebody playing a pub and he's playing some random hero and you're like, hey, that's
I can
a
play
cool
that hero.
Yeah,
We should pick it, definitely.
Yeah.
Totally.
Or so, even Sylar's Morphling there. I think it's they play against Forward and Forward pick Morphling, and Resolution has a great game, and so I was like, wait a second, I can play Morphling. I think a lot more of that goes on than pro players would be willing to admit.
Well, and we do have a little bit of more info now as well. It is going to be Vici choosing to take first pick, and then it's going to be Dyer for Aster.
So we did have a flip, right?
Yeah.
And they won, and so Aster had selection priority first
because
game.
They had better seeding in a group, right?
Yeah.
That was the first game, at least.
Yeah. So then Vici have got selection priority these last 2 games, and they took first pick last game as well. Right. So I think we're going to have the same setup as the previous game, which looked good for Vici. So that coin flip may have actually turned out to be a pretty big deal.
Yeah. I think it's going to be interesting, though, because even though Vici won, I don't know if it was in the way that they wanted to. I think that, obviously it looked like they were in control for a decent portion of it, but there were parts where it got a little bit testy. So they might maybe take that Mirana out. Could potentially be one thing, although that would be in the second phase, if anywhere. As we
They controlled Mirana with the Bloodseeker. That hero just destroys Mirana. She can't leap. She needs to stand in place, even though she has a really big range on her attack. Can't do too much. There was no defensive items, no save.
Yeah, that late Bloodseeker pick did some serious work that game.
And I was thinking about the Mirana and why it has felt strong at times, and I think it's because we're seeing less and less defensive supports. Supports need to be able to deal damage right now, and so we're seeing very little dazzle after the group stages. Oracle is gone. No Shadow Demon. Any of these defensive supports where previously you would have a Warlock Spectre or something. It's just not happening.
We're shifting more towards this huge team fighting meta and the greedy one. Whoever can get away with the more greedy pick. I've seen some of Team Secret's picks. Support Legion Commander, they won 1 game, they lost 1 game. Now they took the game off Virtus Pro with support Brewmaster again.
Has Puppy played a traditional support this entire event? I'm not even sure.
Uh-oh. That shows up on screen. That's not supposed to happen.
Whoops. We are capturing Lacoste Monitor at the moment. That's fine. Okay, so we got the Necrophos banned, Weaver banned, Tiny Wisp again. Same setup, Aster Dire, Vici over on the Radiant with first pick.
Yeah, and in the previous game, game number 2, that was the Weaver, Earthshaker, Necro. So 2 of those taken out, and then Tiny, Io, and Phoenix. So it looks like the only change that we haven't seen any change. We'll see if they decide to still ban out the Phoenix for Team Aster. And it looks like it could be, if they do go for the Phoenix ban, Ogre would still be in the pool. If they don't decide to take it, then Vici could just have Phoenix for themselves.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, and it looks like we are now onto Scriff's camera again, so Lacoste can stop freaking out.
Yeah, my camera work is not that great. I see a lot of stuff. I'm not missing anything, but you might get dizzy from my camera.
Yeah. And now you can open your cheat sheets again. It's fine.
Phoenix? Oh, baby, they let it through.
All right, so then Aster take
Ogre Mirana?
Ogre. Yeah.
This kind of became a classic. Even during King's Cup, people were just first phasing Phoenix, instant respond, Bloodlust, that heroes plus Mirana with the leap attack speed.
I mean, this is instantly going to be a very different game, right? Like, they take out the silencer. They say that is the bigger issue, the global silence, and they're going to instead have to deal with the Phoenix. I don't know if I agree with it. I think that Phoenix enables a lot of stuff, and it means that they're going to need to do something besides Terrorblade, probably.
Yeah, it's going to end up being a pretty Phoenix-centric game, potentially. And yeah,
This hero feels like a really hot pick right now. It's either picked or banned most of the time, and this overtime damage on the lane really pressures them.
Yeah, I think it's really nice.
So to answer your question, Papi played 4 games of Brewmaster, 1 game of Axe, 2 games of Tiny.
I see 1 game of Bane.
Bane, yeah, that's
Is
the
that
only
the
position
only
5.
That's
Yes.
the only one that I would consider to be like a traditional position 5, and that was the very first game that they played of the tournament. I think after that point, Puppy was like, "Nah, I'm farming. I'm playing these melee position 5s now."
So they take out the Monkey King to be the counter pick for the Axe.
Yep.
Other heroes that are good right now that deal with that type of a lane. Necro is one that stands out.
Yeah.
Banned.
Necro's banned. People in pubs, at least, kind of like. I think Ursa's quite good in this situation, right? It's pretty decent against the Phoenix. I don't think Sylar is going to be playing position 1 Ursa, though, so I think that's kind of off the table. As far as other picks go, Aster might be tempted to look towards a Lina this game for mid, but it's also a little bit obvious. Like it's a Yule's buyer for the Axe, and it's also a good ranged high attack speed hero for the Phoenix.
They can get it early on if they want to, and they have a last pick, so they can swap things around, put it on position 4/3.
What about just keeping the Mirana down bottom there instead? Can she deal with the pressure the lane puts out?
No. I mean, she can arrow the creep, but she's not that strong early on.
I think that they really got themselves put in a tough position here, Team Aster. Like
Draw
Axe,
Ranger's still in the pool.
Yeah, the Phoenix Axe lane is so brutal, especially when like you're battle hungered, and then as you try and go for the last hit, Phoenix is just hitting you with fire spirits. It's so much damage.
So Aster when they played against NIP, they ran a Spectre Bane against a Phoenix Axe. I don't know if Spectre is somebody that can fully survive down there.
No. I mean, Spectre's one of the weakest laners in Dota.
I mean, they've done it before. I don't know. I'm not sure if that was just something
if you're
different
asking
or
if
what.
they can pick it or if Spectre does well against that lane.
Right.
She doesn't do well against that lane.
But if it's a good overall Spectre game, then you can still kind of like...
Spectre's going to lose the lane nonetheless, so she always needs the farm to catch up.
Yeah, 100%. Aster, so they still have that Bane option if they want it, but I don't know if they want Ogre Bane as their 2 supports. I think they want something a little bit greedier, perhaps.
Seems like
for
they're
Boca.
aiming towards Invoker again. PL banned out, Bloodseeker as well. Bloodseeker was a real problem in the previous one.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I mean, it is certainly pretty good against the Axe. They don't have to take it right this second. They could take it as the second pick in this phase. I don't think Vici are necessarily going to be taking it for themselves. But Aster, I think this has to be the Baboka hero in this position. I don't know what they're considering. Like, a Nyx Assassin could be okay in terms of game matchups, especially if they're angling for the Invoker pickup. But whether they're happy with that as the laning setup, I think is a different problem.
I mean, they've just done such a good job of the heroes that would normally go against this lane.
They're just going to pick the Brew again.
It's pretty much the same lineup so far.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this does... The Brewmaster does restrict the carry pool a little bit for Vici.
Holy crap. That is going to be a scary lane. Like, you can get tree armor now down there, too?
Yeah. Well, just the teamfight combo as well, right? The Overgrowth plus Supernova. And they've got Axe.
This means that their lanes are not going to be as strong. Treant Protector is really not a strong laner at all.
Especially not as a support.
Remaining.
And especially not as a 5, it looks like, this game.
Yeah.
Like, all three of these heroes can be played as 3, 4, 5, pretty much. So
yeah.
They can do whatever they want.
What a world we live in.
And Aster seem, well, not completely flummoxed, but using quite a lot of reserve time. I guess this is where they decide if they want the Invoker, right?
Vici Gaming's turn to pick.
Do you think they're just going to take Zeus right now?
Yes.
Or Ember could be a problem again for them because they have no lockdown whatsoever.
Are they just going to pick the exact same
5
lineup?
heroes?
Yeah.
I think Aster is I think they might be being exposed here a little bit. This
5 seconds remaining.
this is looking like a very limited draft from them, and I think that Vici Gaming have even better answers than they had last game.
So it's the Vici Morphling this time around. I like this quite a bit. I mean, you're saying that the Treant Protector is not a super strong laning hero, but Morphling can kind of hold his own. At least he's ranged and should still be able to secure some CS. And decent matchup against the TB.
And if he morphs everything into Agi, Treant Protector Leech Seed almost gets him to full HP.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely nice. And, okay, so do you think do we see the Invoker ban?
I don't think so. I think they dare him to take it.
What do Vici pick then for mid?
I still think Ember Spirit looking good. They should probably ban out Invoker if they want to go for Ember Spirit.
Yeah.
Maybe a different kind of a build on Invoker. I would like to have a Spirit Vessel in this game against Phoenix Heal, Treant Protector. Amazing against Morphling. Also, Axe has a lot of regen also to stop that.
I'm trying to think what else Vici could pick here. Like, they could Zeus mid if they really wanted to. I don't think... Leshrac kind of came to mind, but I don't know if it's that great. Certainly good against PL. I don't know how good it is against Terrorblade.
It's not that great because he outranges you, so you can't just stand in the front line against the PL. He's a melee, so he needs to get on top of you, and then you just use your ulti.
Just go Ember. Do it.
Just if they're banning anything other than Invoker, I guess is the big question here.
The only thing that I could see that would make me feel better about Aster's draft is take like a Legion Commander and switch it up and run Mirana mid, which is not something that they've shown they're willing to do. But I feel like if they just keep running XXS Mirana, the Terrorblade, and the safe lane, like they're just going to get rolled over.
I don't feel like Legion Commander is the pick. They have no burst damage, so they can't secure the duels.
All right. Well, the glove has been thrown down. Like, I think here's the challenge. It's like, Aster, are you willing to just pick your Invoker again?
It's literally the exact same draft if they do it.
Yeah. I mean, it's a very different Vici draft, though. So I also feel like Aster shouldn't psych themselves out too much.
5 seconds remaining.
Just do it. Just pick the D-Stones Invoker, man. Come on.
If they pick Invoker, I will have never gone so hard from like liking a team to disliking a team.
Why? They're
So
just
quickly.
stubborn. They believe in their picks.
I like this
Now
more.
select your heroes.
Stubbornness isn't always good, Lacoste. Come on now.
Is this Pugna pick even good? We saw Pugna lose to Lina before. It does diversify their damage a little bit more. It's not really amazing save against
Decrep
anything
against
this
Axe.
game.
Decrep Axe.
Yeah, it kind of works.
I think it's pretty good. Lacoste, what do you think?
I'm liking
lost.
Vici Gaming
Yeah.
way more. Like, they have so much heal, and I don't think anyone has overtime damage besides Ogre to get rid of Treant Protector heal. Their lanes are gonna look good. Mid lane, better matchup against the Pugna. Morphling with the Treant Protector. That lane, I don't find that very strong, but they should win Axe and Phoenix lane.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, for one last time, who is going to be the Mercedes MVP? Yay! We're back again.
Yep.
Getting ready to hop into game number 3. As we've been talking about throughout this entire time, Vici versus Aster. It's an inter-regional matchup, but to me at least, I feel like this has really shown the limitations that Aster has, because they haven't really been struggling up until this point. And like, this draft just felt not good from them at all. To me at least. That's my thoughts.
It doesn't. It feels like they were just following like exactly what Vici kind of had planned for them the whole time. Like, they picked the Phoenix, so they knew that they were going to do the Ogre Mirana. The Brewmaster just kind of felt like they knew that they needed to pick Baboka's hero in that position, and they're just like, oh, what's Baboka been playing? What do you want to play, Baboka? He's been favoring this Brewmaster quite a bit. Like, I'm not so sure. I still think that this Brewmaster Mirana lane is going to do pretty well, or the whatever hero is going with the Mirana. So I think they can still do all right. But unless XXS has a really fantastic game, I'm a little bit worried about them. They do have a lot of ways to take super fast tier 1 towers, though, like the Metamorphosis and the Pugna. They could get off to a hot start, and that's where maybe we'll see some of the slowness of the Vici lineup.
That's one of their strengths, because Treant Protector is good when team can't fully commit to a tower, but Terrorblade doesn't care about that. He goes in, he takes the tower, especially with Pugna behind him. So if you look at the items, Treant Protector with a Stout Shield, 4 tangos and a healing salve. So he is the position 5 player, but position 4 buys a lot of stuff early on. So he only has 2 salves and a couple of tangos. Phoenix doesn't need that much early on, and the Treant Protector, being a weak laner, he needs to mitigate some of the damage, also 0 armor on him.
And we have the double Stout Shield not Invoker, Axe.
Double Stout Shield Invoker.
He's ready to go.
Coming to a 2K pub near you.
But Yang, he's just going to try and run in there and see what he can do, as he is going to see if his fingers are quicker, and indeed they are. So Vici, pick up a couple of those runes. Trading off 2 for 2.
Oh, nice. That's a value Fire Spirit. Hit both of them.
Nifty, nifty.
Except he's only going to get to use one of them, it looks like. Yeah. Oh, that was the last one. Never mind.
So yeah, Metamorphosis comes out right at the start, able to push back Yang for the moment. And actually, Vici taking a lot of damage. His Phage is dead.
He has another
The salve.
Oh, that was so cute that they actually, like, pushed them out before they could even get to where the waves met.
Yeah.
Very nice. So they missed one CS, but that was so worth. Sylar might not be able to get this lane under control, though. Looks like the Radiant range creep's going to die before his range creep does. Ooh, he's trying for it.
He should be able to get the deny on it at least, right? Oh. Yeah, he gets that one. So it does look like, for now at least, Yang trying to pull the creep wave over, and Bobica taking a beating as well. A lot of action up here top.
God, that was so many spins from Yang. Bobica took so much damage. Ooh, nice. I thought this lane was going to go well, but not that well.
What did Fenrir take? Did he take Fire Blast level 1? Yeah.
Okay.
Able to punish. And Paparazzi obviously going to take the attribute shift, just not fully in position to mess around with him, but he is still going to be able to find a couple of denies here and there, and possibly even on these range creeps. We'll have to watch and see how it goes. Does get one.
Brewmaster is gonna deny himself on the top tower. Maybe.
Take me.
Nice. So it was long enough that nobody specific got kill credit. So it's like, what, 20 gold or something? 25 gold for each of them?
Yeah.
And he only lost a tiny bit. Pretty good.
So we'll have to watch to see how this bottom lane goes. That is one issue with the Morph lane, obviously, is the early pressure he takes, although they're actually starting to land a Fenrir as well. He needs to be careful on this Ogre, and looks like he almost goes down.
Fog.
Stick charges. Living. Also, XXS tanking a couple of those adaptive strikes as Yang tries to keep on clearing through these. Sylar taking some of the DOT fade, also being ran after.
The best scenario for the bottom lane, considering it's position 5-3 and Protector, is that you get a kill. Let's say Morphling gets the last hit and you just die. Then you TP back to a lane with full HP and mana. Right now, he's not putting any kind of a pressure.
No. Looks like Yang is going to pull this creep wave over and then back again. We'll try and double it up and clear through it. ASAP already has his Ring of Health. So this is going to be a nice little chunk of change for Mr. Yang, as well as solo experience at this point, since Phoenix has kind of left the area.
Yeah, they can't really do anything to stop him, it looks like.
Spin. Ooh, hitting Bobica. He does still have his salve, though. But gonna eventually go over to this medium camp, and Bobica is gonna be able to share some of that experience.
Oh, mid lane, D-Stone's in trouble. Pugna getting going on.
Oh, it's gonna go down. So 2-1 start there. Vici finding what they need, and again, Yang just gonna be able to get a full creep wave.
Oh, Treant dead bottom.
Uh-oh, success. Able to find himself a kill. Showing his prowess on this hero.
If you read bottom's name, it's actually Asterix XS.
Okay. Amazing. Asterix. 2 points in the lead sheet for DY. Trading hits. This is a 900 HP tree, but Asterix able to back away. Did he take 2 points in arrow? Am I crazy?
I hope he didn't.
He did. It's fine. If you just want to set up kills and you don't have mana to use the Starstorm. Even though Starstorm only 80 mana level 1, look at this. Leap to the side, trying to find an angle.
It's kind of a weird build, though. Haven't seen it all that often.
I think he'll go back for the...
Yeah, he will
now.
max Starstorm, definitely.
D-Stones in the mid lane. Gonna go down, but they do lose fade.
This is the beauty of an axe. When he's not contested, he just creep skips the enemy safe lane. Carry gets a lot of XP, but your position 4 hero can make a rotation on the mid lane. You can see Sylar moving to the jungle because he got level 5 minutes in, and now he's leaving the lane to Baboka. We've seen that before.
Yeah. The experience on the Brewmaster is going to be nice, but the axe getting farmed not only from the lane, but also dragging it into the jungle is pretty scary.
Is XXS in trouble here? He's getting pummeled. Does still have another leap, though, so we'll be able to get out of there. And now It's DY in the woods, looking for the arrow onto Paparazzi. Does connect, but he switches over to Strength Form first. Paparazzi looking pretty okay there. Waveforms through, and Vici continuing to assert dominance as they find a kill top. They find a kill in the bottom lane. Vici are winning all 3 lanes. Aster do not have an answer.
Very easy for Yang there. Just he's got the Vanguard, so he doesn't really care that much about the creep wave or the tower. Another kill on the Treant at bottom. All right, Vici overextending a little bit down there.
But this is what we're talking about. Like, I think that Vici gave them the same draft that Aster had in last game, but now they've come up with better answers to it. And Yang with the tree armor and the dunk comes through. Bobica dead yet again.
They need to just give up on this top tower. Like, they're not... nobody's coming up here to help. I don't know why Bobica
but what is
just
Bobica gonna do? He can't gank mid lane.
I mean,
Maybe just put a pressure on the bottom, but these heroes are hard to kill. Also, I love the build on Treant Protector. Usually you see that from position 3, sometimes even 4, no points in Nature's Guise. He has a Stout Shield, just blocking some of the damage, and maxes out all the other spells. He's gonna get it a bit later.
Yeah. I mean, just run in and get to use your ridiculous damage, right? If you're just sitting next to the trees the whole time waiting for Nature's Guise to pop up, you're not really doing anything. I like this a lot more, the kind of contest the lane build.
Arrow.
He has 7 sticks.
Gonna be fine. And this is what I was talking about too, that defensive support that we haven't seen all that often. Tree feels like it's such a good fit because it also fulfills the team fight portions that you need.
That's why I didn't like the Pugna pick. I still think if they went for an Invoker, go for Spirit Vessel, no one's gonna buy a Spirit Vessel in this game. At least not early on, when it matters.
Yeah, they're not gonna have it versus the Morph.
Axe going for the full-out farm build. Has the 4 points in counter Helix and is just gonna walk away from this Pugna. 1,100 gold on top of everything else. Yang has been a perennial all-star in the Chinese circuit and showing off here in ESL One Hamburg. Sylar gonna be able to punish DY. And with Phoenix in the area as well as Paparazzi nearby. See if
They should be able to stop this push with Phoenix.
Oh, Arrow connecting. He's going to Strength Form, but it's not quick enough. They just lose Paparazzi.
Oh, he missed. He clicked on the minimap, but he healed tower instead.
Ah.
What a sick rotation from Sylar.
D-Stones, D-Stones, D-Stones.
Oh.
Jason. Have a bit more working out. Paparazzi could go for an adaptive strike, but...
Gotta watch out, Sylar's got this Sunder. Okay, so they can heal that tower back up. It's a benefit of having the Treant Protector in this game. And Sylar just back to farm stations. At least he's caught back up after a pretty miserable start. So always the nice thing about the Terrorblade, you got pretty consistent jungle farm.
Yeah. Vici should know where this is at, and maybe we'll be able to punish later once the blink comes up. And speaking of the blink, it's only about 700 gold away. But Axe currently sitting top of the net worth. Well, Terrorblade is, as you said, catching up slowly but surely as he heads back towards his own jungle and has eyes on that Dragonlance.
Runes coming out in 20 seconds. Also means a Tome. Phoenix level 5, Treant Protector as well. They should probably give priority to Phoenix because he has a GPM talent, and with Supernova they can fight.
Yeah, it would be nice. Invis for D-Stones could decide to maybe make a play happen. God, Yang would be such a big one if they could get him.
Yeah, but that 6 on the Phoenix gonna line up pretty nicely with the Axe Blink Dagger, so that'll be a really obvious play for Vici to try and make. And Aster don't really have a whole lot by way of counter initiation against that, so whoever the Axe finds should be a pretty free kill.
Do you guys like the Vanguard? I was thinking like the Hood could have potentially been a better pickup this game since there's so much magic damage.
He can still go back to, if he wants to, just build a pipe for the team. But Vanguard makes him tank so much more damage, and the extra HP plus Crimson Guard if he wants to upgrade against the Brewmaster and Terrorblade. It feels like for 12 seconds you're not getting any damage.
I like the Vanguard if he uses it to farm Ancients at least a little bit. But
Blink Dagger with TP rotation.
They catch the Pugna. No decrep for you. It's not going to make the difference. And one of the heroes that was doing well for Aster is going to be eating the dust. And this one feeling like it's all Vici.
Yeah, the playmaking potential for Aster just really not there with these supports that they've picked.
This is tough kill to get if they're trying to go on bottom. They're actually going on mid. That's an easy one.
Oh my god. Yeah, that was rather rapid. And Sylar going to pick it up now with the meta. Walks in towards the tower, but it is being healed by the tree. Let's see if they can. They can't really do much.
I'm pretty impressed with what Sylar is making happen on Terrorblade. Like,
he's the playmaker for his team.
Yeah, somehow he's running around and actually being the one to set up kills, which is very unusual for a Terrorblade. And he's #1 on net worth.
Which those Ancients you wanted.
Yeah. Now, I think if you're going to buy the Vanguard, it's important that you at least use it to get some additional farm. Otherwise, I would have liked the Hood a little bit more. And going for the 40 attack speed, all right.
Smoke up. DD Rune on the axe, hitting for over 150 apiece, and he's going to walk into Paparazzi in the area with the Brew and poor old Bobica.
Oh, that was really risky. He didn't want to go for call, instead tried to go for a dunk and missed.
Yeah, so they're going to get this two-pronged attack from Aster, XXS pushing top. They got D-Stones over at mid. If they don't actually fully get either of these, then the living armor are always going to be a problem once again, and they really need to take a tier 1 tower because otherwise they're going to be down 3-0 on the tier 1 tower game, which is just a miserable position to be in.
Yeah, and they survived the laning stage, so this position 5 3 and Protector is going to do pretty much the same job as position 4 3 and Protector. Besides the fact that he's not going to have a Meteor Hammer at any time, he's just going to ward up, needs only one more level to max out the living armor. And his job is just going to be to heal the towers, try to place a good ulti in a team fight, that's it. Nothing flashy.
We'll see if they can make it happen with just Yang in the area. And I mean, the other thing too is that since you have all these mobile heroes already on Aster, you can kind of just go for a quick little walk-in follow-up coming from the tree. So good stuff so far coming out from Vici Gaming as they look to try and finish this series and continue on in the upper bracket.
Yeah, so if you win this, you're securing yourself top 3, right? So pretty big deal. Definitely be a bit of a statement from Vici. I feel like people have been hyping Aster. Well, we've certainly been hyping Aster this entire time. But we'll see. I still think that their coordination and team play and stuff really good. They're making all of these little plays really nicely, but we'll just see if the lineup works properly. Need to get some stuff going with this Primal Split, I think. That's what the...
Yeah, Brewmaster is 0-4-0. Hiding under the Moonlight Shadow, trying to find a kill. This is a big kill if they can get him. Oh, God.
Weren't they smoked?
Yes.
So they should have known.
Although, no, the smoke broke. They're Moonlight Shadows.
The Lino was right there. Yeah, you're right.
They just hit the illusion. Now a call onto Mirana. When it rains, it pours, and right now, Aster just struggling to get anything done. God, that feels bad.
Yeah. Yeah, popping the Metamorphosis like that really hurts. Oh, Ori.
He has one leap charge. Dodges.
He is done. Did manage to buy out before he died. So all is not lost there. But, I mean,
they can see that meta is going to go down now. So they might try to defend this tower. Never mind. Just buying some time with Trian's heal.
And now another item being brought out on the courier for Yang. This is a tough one.
Yeah. The Morphling doesn't have an enormous amount of farm just yet, only 6.6k. A little bit of a slower game from Paparazzi so far.
He's gonna find Baboka, or is Baboka gonna find him?
I mean, you gotta be careful. They have Blink Blade Mill now.
He should put that
Why is nobody
shield
here?
in his inventory. Baboka.
Does it actually do anything if you have a Vanguard?
Yeah, it does.
Chasing.
Oh yeah, because it's still hero.
Doing some damage out there. Laguna Blade onto Fenrir as they chase it. Paparazzi trying to find an opening and is going to be able to get D-Stones, but can't quite get the TP interrupt. Is off to the side. A taunt onto Brewmaster. Going to be able to find the stun and going to be able to find the kill. Double for Ori. Vici continuing to make things happen, although they did lose the tier 2 tower.
I don't think that was that bad for Aster, to be honest. The 2 supports for the tier 2.
Yeah, and you're against Treant Protector, so getting a tower is always good.
Yeah.
I was thinking that Vici is gonna trade mid tier 2 tower for their bottom one. It feels like they could have defended, definitely. If Treant Protector just TPs, uses Overgrowth, it's gonna force them back.
Yeah, I think they certainly had the resources to be able to stop that push, but instead, just kind of chilling out. Fade is rushing a Shiva's guard. GPM talent can help him out.
I mean, definitely super value against the Terrorblade. Even against the Mirana in a lot of ways. Oh, Sylar, and he just gets obliterated yet again. Can they find the save? Looks like they're going to. It's a nice play with the Yules there. But they can't quite take down Sylar.
Yeah, just a little bit too tanky.
And to be honest, though, so much space created still.
Yeah, they're really kind of stuck waiting for this Morphling a little bit on the Vici side, but I don't think they mind too much. I like how their late game matches up just by virtue of how much team fight they have. Their team fight is just ridiculous from these 2 supports.
Oh, that would have been a nice pickup for them. Getting all of these small little items that are actually not so little, but are going to be so effective at keeping them alive. Going for that hood next after the Blade Mill. And a smoke up. Aster maybe feeling a little bit desperate to get stuff done. The Moonlight Shadow afterwards is a familiar territory. They're going to start it out, but is the creep in the way of the arrow? It doesn't hit onto the axe, and the Blade Mill is out as well. They're coming into position. Overgrowth is there. Sylar trying to find this kill. Can Yang get away? He's walking out of there. Fire Blast and the finish, but now Aster very deep. Can they all escape? It looks like they're actually just going to be able to keep the kills going. Okay.
I don't remember seeing one egg this game.
Yeah.
See, Vinner. I don't know if the Laguna Blade was needed there, but better safe than sorry. And straight back to farming. Didn't manage to get a ward down, unfortunately. I think he was hoping to like ward in between the tier 1 and tier 2, set up for a push.
Oh, Bugna.
And Paparazzi taking it over. That's pretty nifty.
He even used the Cripify. Just that's a budget shotgun.
I will say Paparazzi is one hero that is well prepared for the changes to Morphling. Although, let's be careful at the arrow.
Ooh, now a connecting smoke. Aster got to be careful. This mid tier 2 is very low as well, so could just end up being that if the creep wave pushes too far forward.
Man, Sylar's keeping them in this game 5-0 after such a bad lane and start.
Poor old Fenrir. This guy just wants to play some wards.
I mean, still better him tanking the gank than anybody else. And we do have a Blink Dagger on the Brewmaster, so Aster another tool that they can try out here in this next fight.
I think that Pugna ward getting stolen is going to become really important too.
Yeah, it's going to be annoying for Pugna at the very least. Don't know if anybody else really cares about it too much.
Should kill the Terrorblade, right? If he's going for Sunder.
Well, depends
How much
on his
mana
HP.
does it? I mean, it doesn't cost. It's 100 mana at that level.
Yeah, I guess not.
Level 18, it costs 50. No, it's not going to do that much.
So Aster moving together now. They want to try and see if they can reestablish themselves here as they get down some vision. They're like, all right, tired of Fenrir just dying when he's trying to get some lords. Let's go together, hold some hands. As they do it, though, up on the high ground, if they walk into this, Fade, Yang, they're all in the area. They have the Supernova available for them, and they throw it out in just a second. They already killed off the Brewmaster, and they did end up losing the tree, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough, as Aster kind of in no man's land. Paparazzi going to throw down a ward of his own. And looks like they need to back out now.
They don't have any vision there. Aster, little triangle of observer ward, so they wanted to fight in this area. Can they actually catch him? They have a ward.
Oh, Decrep into the catch, and Sylar is trying to walk away, Yule Scepter. And that's gonna do it. Big kill for Ori.
They're gonna find Ogre as well.
Ooh, chase down, Blade Mail, slowed yet again. Fenrir going to be found, going to be called, going to be chopped. Didn't even get a chance to. But tier 2 tower down, no Terrorblade for 30 seconds. And Vici could think about going into Roche now if they want to.
This is where Pugna falls off. Like, this hero wants to keep the pressure, but when you're playing it from behind, it just doesn't feel like he's strong at all. You need to build into defensive items. One of the better items to build in general against this hero, which I like, is a Glimmer Cape. No matter the role you're playing, and if you're playing a mid role, you're gonna get it real quick.
I don't even, what is the Pugna pick for this game, really? Like, it's not like Vici have that many big int hero, or like big spellcaster heroes that are gonna kill themselves on the ward. The Decrepify is not useful defensively, really.
They don't have any burst damage as well, any kind of burst magical damage.
To synergize with it on their side,
I mean, it's hard to know because obviously we're not in the draft, but to me it felt like you're out of time. We need to pick something. We just lost with this exact same draft.
Yeah,
Let's not
better
pick it
change
again.
one hero.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it felt like. E-Blade done on the Morph lane. And now a smoke up from Vici. Is Fenrir gonna eat it again?
Maybe. It does also feel like a pretty big deal that Vici won the flip and got selection priority in this third game. I mean, not saying that that's like the only reason, but...
Well,
we've seen this site before.
Poor old Fenrir. Run away! Oh, on the other side, XXS, that's a bigger kill. So Aegis down, Ogre down, Brewmaster. Oh, they break him. Nice catch there to get the kill. They also proc the Aeon Disc for D-Stones. This is, oh, jeez.
3 pickoffs across the map. Vici just completely commanding this entire game.
He can proc his Aeon Disc with just Adaptive Strike or Ethereal Blade. That's why I don't like Aeon Disc as a second item.
Yeah. There's going to be the Decrep now, life drain from D-Stones, but yeah, this is feeling closer and closer to out of control. The Shiva's Guard is completely finished for the Phoenix at this point.
Dire's bottom tower is under
And now he's going for Radiance. Oh boy. Fade feeling very happy with his lot in life.
Everything that you could want and more. 13,000 net worth lead, 20 to 11. You know, the previous 2 games, they felt close. This has not felt close for a while. And maybe looking for a big play here, but they're going to need everything and a bit more DY walking forward. They dropped out the Sentry Ward, the Overgrowth in just a second. They were able to get off the Bruise Split, though. Yang is stunned for a while. They have the Sunray keeping him alive, and there's the Overgrowth on to 3. Where's the follow-up? They do still have Supernova available, and the shotgun comes out. Paparazzi just killing off that Pugna. There's going to be the Shiva's Guard. Supernova beautifully placed. They blow up Sylar. They're going to kill XXS. They're going to kill them all, as Aster are just being pummeled into the dirt. They find themselves another kill here on the Fenrir, so they take over yet another, and going to be the tier 2 and possibly more.
There's no way for them to come back into this game. GG. This is not premature GG. This is just, they have nothing else to do anymore in this game.
Yeah, I mean, they even got their spells off pretty well in that last fight. They landed a good arrow, but there's just too much on Vici. The Crimson Guard making the Terrorblade looking like he's got no items at all. And yeah, I don't know, just a really weird look from Aster. It seems like maybe Vici have their number a little bit.
Yeah.
Not sure.
I mean, again, this is an intra-regional matchup, so in the last time these two teams met, it was a 2-0 from Vici. I feel like they have probably a better idea of what Aster want to do than any other team here, and I think that Aster would have been happy to place anybody else.
They probably scream against each other, and maybe that's just a surprise effect. Team Aster, no one knows what they play. They show up, they beat the Western teams against the Vici Gaming. Vici Gaming's looking hot as well. Maybe Team Aster doesn't look good when they lose, but when they win, they look extremely well. Maybe we can talk about some issues about the draft, even though the draft in the previous match would fit them better than this one, even though they just changed the Pugna for Invoker.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think that it felt like it was not over from the draft, but it was an uphill battle. Anything, Cameron?
Yeah, I mean, they just didn't have anything unique going on from the draft, right? The Brewmaster felt like a really whatever pick, whereas in a lot of our other games, we've seen Baboka on something a little bit unique, a little bit different, but it's perfectly suited for the game, and his plays in the laning stage are kind of, they get away with some slightly greedier lanes, or they get away with something that, you know, other teams might not be able to, and the Brewmaster felt super,
I feel like they haven't been playing these untraditional 4-5s on their side, and they saw other teams doing well with it and try to experiment a little bit. We're not going to put it as 5 as Team Secret plays. We're going to put it at 4, give him more farm, but he actually did nothing in this game. 0-8-0.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us here in the studio in Cologne in the ESL offices. I can't do this. Shout outs to all the wonderful people here, the production folks back in the little room that's right behind the camera that you guys can't see. Scriff back there as well, and to you wonderful folks as well. So we finally close out our day 3. Be sure to keep on following, though, hashtag ESL One for all the action, and continue following on the streams. The main event just a couple days away, and we'll see you there. Have a good one.